And if I had have ordered something like this even 10 years ago in Spain for breakfast or for brunch, they probably would have called the cops. Hola Spain lovers, hola food lovers, Stuart here with another food review video. Not a lunch video today, it's only 10 in the morning, so a breakfast review or a brunch review if you like. I'm going to go into this restaurant that I have behind me here called Maroma and try one of their breakfast specials, and I reckon it's going to be a tasty breakfast treat today. Not your typical Spanish breakfast, if you know what I mean. This is going to be a special breakfast treat. So without further ado, let's go and sit down and get stuck into the meal today. Vamos! So today I'm trying something a little different for breakfast here in Spain. I've come to a fairly fancy restaurant. I've been here before. In fact, I think I've done a couple of videos from this particular restaurant because the food is very good. And even earlier this year, I did a breakfast review from this place and I said that this is probably the best breakfast that I have had in this country. And there's a bit of a story behind that because I would say that Spain is a country that's not famous for its breakfasts. Yes, it's famous for its cuisine. Yes, it's famous for its tapas culture. Yes, it's famous for various dishes like paella, for example. But breakfasts, not really. But fortunately, and thanks to places like this one here, things have started to change. You can get decent breakfasts now in Spain and decent coffee too. No, sin nada, gracias. And speaking of coffee, as you can see, mine has just arrived. Now the milk's a little bit hot. I've also gone for a milk variety today. Well, it's not really milk, it's oat milk as they call it, or oat liquid if you like, because I'm sick of the full cream milk that you normally get in coffees here in Spain. And let's be honest about this, coffee traditionally in Spain, in my opinion, has left a lot to be desired. But nowadays you can come to a place like this, you can get different types of milk. They even do skim milk if you want to drink that. They've got oat milk as well. They've probably got soy milk as well, and also milk that doesn't have lactose in it. So different varieties. And as I said, 20 years ago, those things did not exist. So Spain progressing in that sense. Now, as I said, the coffee's a little bit hot, so I'll put that to the side. And I'm just going to have a look at some of the reviews of this place here where I am today. It's called Maroma, and it's one of the most popular restaurants in the local area where I live here. And you'll see in just a moment how popular this place is because it's got thousands of reviews. In fact, 4,127 reviews and 4.3 overall score. So very, very good. We can also see that when it comes to the breakfast menu, there's lots of different things here. Of course, you've got the classic Spanish breakfasts, which are a piece of toast with some jam and some butter. Also, if you want a little bit of Iberian ham on there, you can get that as well. They've also got some more fancy breakfasts here as well. So this is a place, as I said, that's taking breakfast seriously, and this is a trend that seems to be catching on in Spain, especially in some of the big cities around the country. Definitely there's lots of good breakfasts on offer nowadays, and also specialty coffee, which is important. The breakfast that I've gone for today is the Maroma ranchera, which is a sort of a Tex-Mex vibe, if you like, and it comes with a flour tortilla. We've got peppers, we've got tomato, we've got fried eggs, we've got guacamole, and also included is the cafe. So that's another important thing as well, that a lot of these breakfast specials are going to include coffee in them. So important, you're not paying €3 extra for your coffee. I like it. We've got a picture of what it looks like here, and it's going to be interesting to see if the dish that comes out resembles this picture in any way, shape or form. But having eaten in this place before, I know that it most likely will. So we'll wait for the food to come out. And I think one of the reasons why breakfasts are improving in this country, obviously there's lots of new bars and restaurants opening up. Lots of people have been coming to live in Spain from South American countries, the Venezuelas, the Colombias and places like that, and they're bringing a lot of international dishes with them, and that's the vibe that I'm going for here today with the Tex-Mex ranchera breakfast here today. And I reckon there'll be a bit of a fusion vibe going on the plate, so we'll see when the food comes out. Can't wait. Muchas gracias. Fenomenal, gracias. So my breakfast has arrived. The first thing I'm going to do is apologize for the noise. We've got some street cleaners over here with their blowers out and they're making a lot of noise, very uncomfortable. But back to the breakfast, and as you can see, this is a spectacular breakfast. There's colors, there's smells coming off this, aromas coming off this that are unbelievable. We've got 2 eggs, we've got the sauteed peppers and tomatoes, we've got a little bit of guacamole on the side. We've also got a slice of lime here as well, which I imagine we dribble over the side here. There we go. That's going to add even more flavor. And as I said, the colors that are coming off this, if you can see that there, unbelievable. And this is what I have come to expect from this place when it comes to breakfast. And I'm going to be honest, if more places in Spain did breakfasts like this, there would be more people eating out at this time of the day. Currently there's only around 2 other tables busy, so Spanish people, maybe they don't like to have breakfast like this in the morning. I don't know, but I certainly do. Now I got a little bit distracted before. I haven't tried the coffee yet. As you can see, there's no latte art going on here. Not a fancy coffee in that sense, but the most important thing is going to be the taste. And the aromas coming off this coffee are also spectacular. Yeah, that's a decent cup of coffee, which is important. So, time to dig in to this breakfast. Let me first see how well the eggs have been cooked. Let me slice into the top of it because I reckon the egg has been cooked to perfection. Let me slice into that. Yes, absolutely. Runny, perfectly cooked, the way that I like to eat my eggs. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to this type of thing. I don't know whether you need to roll this up and eat it like some type of wrap, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut into it and eat it in a different way, I would say, trying to get a lot of the different flavors on the fork, especially when it comes to these sauteed peppers and onions, which look absolutely delightful. Now I'm going to try and be original here. I'm going to get this slice up, pick it up in my hands if I can, and I'm going to put a little bit of guac on there as well. And this looks extremely appetizing. My mouth is watering at the moment. Let's see. Wow. Yeah. So you can definitely taste those Tex-Mex flavors in there. A little bit of guacamole, the lime on top, the sauteed peppers and onions, which are perfectly cooked, and the flavors that are coming off this, unbelievable. And I suppose you could classify this maybe more of a brunch than a breakfast. What time is it? It's 10:41 a.m. I got here a little bit late today. This place opens at around 9:30 a.m. But I got here at about 20 past 10, I would say. So brunch more than breakfast? Probably. And that could also explain why there's not too many people here. Now the street cleaners are going past again. Annoying. But they're not going to put me off my breakfast today because this is spectacular. The juices are running off this tortilla. Spectacular. And it certainly is a hearty breakfast, I'll tell you that. The tortilla's got some nice crunch to it as well, which is important. And if I had have ordered something like this even 10 years ago in Spain for breakfast or for brunch, they probably would have called the cops. Now let's get stuck into some more of this egg. Not only is it perfectly cooked, it's perfectly seasoned as well. You guys saw how runny it was when I cut into it, just the way I like it, beautiful. And even though there's a lot of food on the plate, it's not a heavy breakfast. One thing that I tend to find when I have breakfast out here in Spain in the mornings is that it's quite heavy. Get a big piece of bread, normally with some tomato on top. Maybe you're going to get some type of churros, as they call it, donut type things as well. Sit in your stomach for a long time throughout the day. So this is a lighter breakfast, and that's something that I also like about it. And it's the combination of the different flavors that's the real standout for me. Again, I'll say it, the sautéed peppers with the tomatoes. There's also a little bit of onion in there as well. Maybe a slight hint of garlic, not sure. But that's the standout for me. There's a great combination of flavours. Now we'll go back for some more coffee. I've been neglecting the coffee. That's pretty good. As a lot of you guys already know, I've mentioned it on numerous videos over the years. One of my big bugbears in Spain over the last 25 years or so has been the quality of coffee that you normally get in restaurants and bars. It's fairly shocking, but I will say that a lot more places are taking care with the quality of the coffee that they are serving nowadays. And I reckon the locals are catching on to this, and they're now looking for places with better quality coffee. I could be wrong, but I reckon it's changing. Now, I'm getting to the end of my breakfast today. I've got about 3 mouthfuls left. The street cleaners are back again. Probably the 4th or 5th time that they have gone past. There they are. Fortunately, those noisy leaf blowers seem to have gone. That's what I can't understand, why they just blow the leaves up in the air. All of the dust goes up in the air. People here trying to have breakfast like myself, and they're walking past with these leaf blowers, blowing the leaves up in the air. Absolutely disgraceful. And why they clean the streets in this way, I've got no idea. So, the last couple of mouthfuls here. This has been an absolute treat, I will say. And it's also a treat to be able to eat breakfast outside at 10:30 in the morning, a lovely sunny day on the 27th of October 2025. Amazing. I'll finish off this coffee, ask for the bill, and give my final thoughts and rating on the meal today. Stay tuned. Sí, porfa. Fenomenal. Gracias. Now, the bill has arrived, the bill has been paid. How much do you think I've paid for the breakfast today? Well, I'll tell you right now, €7.60. Now, you might be thinking, Stuart, that's a little bit expensive for breakfast in Spain. And yes, the typical breakfast is around €3, €3.50, but you're going to get your piece of toast, your tomato, your cup of coffee. You're not going to get juice or anything like that. I didn't have juice either, but I got my big breakfast, as you saw there, my cup of coffee as well. And €7.60. I reckon that is a good deal because I'm full. I probably won't have to have lunch. The next meal that I will have today, most likely dinner at around 7:30, 8 p.m. So I'm set for the rest of the day, €7.60. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Good value for money or not for what I have eaten? Let me know. So my final thoughts, starting with the coffee. It was a simple coffee, but it was a nice coffee, and that is very, very important. Not the usual muck that you're served up in many places here in Spain. It was a decent cup of coffee. It was a natural cup of coffee, and I liked it. It wasn't a specialty coffee. There was nothing specialty about that, and if you know what specialty coffee is here in Spain, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it was a good cup of coffee, and it was the perfect accompaniment to the breakfast that I had. Moving on to the ranchera breakfast, you saw the flour tortilla, you saw all of the sautéed tomatoes, peppers and onions that I had on there as well, the 2 perfectly cooked eggs, a little bit of guacamole and that little bit of lime to squeeze over the top. Thumbs up. For the coffee, I'm going to go 4.2. For the breakfast, I'm going to go 4.5, so I'm above the general standard of this place, which I think came in at 4.3, 4,000 plus reviews, 4.3. I'm going 4.5, 4.2 for the coffee. What do you think? Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Is that something that you guys would have for breakfast here in Spain, or are you more of a traditionalist when it comes to breakfast? Maybe a little piece of Spanish omelette, maybe a piece of toast, maybe a churro, something like that, or would you go for the bigger breakfasts like the one that I have had today? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear your opinion on it. Or do you prefer to have breakfast at home? Let me know. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss a video when I publish it. Until the next one, hasta luego from sunny Spain.